All right, Bears fans, I told you earlier this week we got to get to 54,000 subscribers before Monday Night Football. So we got a day and some change here on an NFL Sunday. We're 65 subs away. Come on, make it happen. If we get to 54,000 subs before Monday Night Football, we will do an expanded pregame show, at least 30 minutes. If not, we'll just do 15 minutes. So let's get to 54,000 daily videos here on the channel. And on today's show, we're going to explore some trade rumors that are out there here on a Sunday. So stick with us here on Chicago Bears Now. Today's episode of Chicago Bears Now is presented by Butcher Box. Hey, listen, holidays are almost here. Thanksgiving just around the corner. Butcher Box has high-quality meat. You don't want to be worrying about going to your grocery store, getting all the food, all the fixins. You can order high-quality meat from Butcher Box when you go to butcherbox.com/NFL Daily. That is butcherbox.com/NFL Daily. And you get a free turkey with your first order when you use the promo code NFL Daily. So get started today. All right, let's jump into today's trade rumors because they're circulating. Will Ryan Poles trade for a receiver before the trade deadline? Deadline is 9 days away. Will he make a move? Well, there could be some players that are available. Ian Rapoport reported this earlier this morning that big-name wide receivers generating trade interest include Brandin Cooks, who's been the target of multiple calls, the Texans wide receiver there. Steelers wide receiver Chase Claypool has been in focus, not expected to be dealt in that case. Broncos wide receiver Jeudy has been the center of calls as Denver has started to sputter. Now, the Bears are in a tricky position when it comes to this trade deadline because overall, they're more of a team that would fall into the sellers category, but you also want and probably need to help Justin Fields, but you don't want to lose draft picks. So you're fighting this battle if you're Ryan Poles of, okay, how do we balance helping Fields this season and helping him grow versus trying to see the big picture of building a roster and having draft capital and being a GM that believes in building through an NFL draft. That's the challenge Poles is kind of debating, I would imagine, right now, which is why if I had to guess, he probably won't make a splashy trade. But I think there are some moves to be made that could help you now and in the future, which is what we've talked about with some players in the past. So we'll explore each of these three receivers on today's show. But first, I want to ask you, you're in charge of the Bears. Would you trade for a wide receiver? Type T for trade or type P for pass? If you're like, no, I want to keep my draft picks, type your P for pass. Maybe it depends on price. Let me know, T for trade or P for pass. All right, wide receiver trade targets. And if you're hearing background noise, we got a lot of NFL watch parties happening right now, so I apologize for that. Brandin Cooks. We're taking a look at these three guys. I've always liked Brandin Cooks. Now, he's off to a bit of a slow start this year, but Davis Mills hasn't been playing that well. The Texans aren't a very good team, so take that with a grain of salt overall for Brandin Cooks, because this is a guy who's still only 29 years old, and he has 6 1,000-yard seasons under his belt. He has been a very consistent player in the National Football League for a long time, which is why I've always found it weird that he's constantly getting traded and connected to trade rumors. Now, I've also said this, him and Darnell Mooney in terms of like skill set are very similar. Now, Cooks has been doing it for a lot longer. He's more proven. But from just a physicality comp standpoint, they're both 5'10". They both run good routes, good yards after the catch. Are either true number ones? Probably not. Cooks at times has been a number one. I think right now, ideally, he's a really good number two, which, hey, if you have two good number twos, that's not the worst thing in the world either. I like Brandin Cooks. I'm not trading a first-round pick for him. Would I trade a second? I might trade a second, depending on overall details of the trade. But he appears to be someone that could be available. Now, he did come out and say he's tired of getting traded and he doesn't want to get traded. So keep that in mind as well. Now, Butcher Box is sponsoring today's show, and listen, gobble, gobble, gobble. Turkey season is here, and hey, I can't wait for the holidays because I'm already placed my order with Butcher Box. I ordered some burger meat. I got some pork. By the way, this is humanely raised meats here. This is none of that stuff that is getting injected with all these chemicals and antibodies and all this stuff. This is legitimate meat, grass-fed, the whole 9 yards. That is very, very good for you and tastes incredible as well. And one thing when the holidays come here, as fun as they are, they're a stressful time, especially for me this year. We're hosting Thanksgiving, and so I'm like, golly, I don't want to have to worry about, I got grandma and grandpa coming into town, I got mom and dad, I got to get all the food. I'm just going to order from Butcher Box, and then I'll get a free 10 to 14 pound turkey on top of it. ButcherBox.com/NFL Daily. Code NFL Daily is how you will get a free turkey. One more time, that is ButcherBox.com/NFL Daily. Code NFL Daily gets a 10 to 14 pound free turkey delivered straight to your doorstep with your first order. Link in the comments and in the description. Get started today. All right, let's keep it moving here. Jerry Jeudy for the Denver Broncos. This name has kind of started to circulate. We haven't talked about him yet on Bears Now, but we'll talk about him here. Jerry Jeudy in his career is kind of at a weird one. His rookie year in a bad offense, promising, right? 52 catches, 856 yards, 3 touchdowns. You're thinking, okay, this guy's going to ascend the next year. Well, he had some injuries last year, was inconsistent in 10 games, had 367 yards, no touchdowns. And then this year, 17 catches, 290 yards, no touchdowns. It's kind of weird to say because coming out, I like Jerry Jeudy a decent amount. He's been surprisingly average. He's not looked like a number 1. He's looked at times not like a number 2. Could you buy low on Jeudy for like a 3rd-round pick and try to elevate him? Maybe, but he's never really had a game where you're like, oh, my God, this guy looks dominant. And that's a bit surprising because coming out of Alabama, we thought this guy was going to be the real deal, and he's just been okay. So I'd be curious to see what his trade value actually is. I would not trade a 1st or even a 2nd, I don't think, for Jerry Jeudy. 3rd, I might trade a 3rd for Jeudy because he still would be the 2nd best receiver on this team, but just know he has not lived up to that 1st-round pick hype that obviously he was picked in just a couple of years ago. Now, what do you guys think? Will the Bears make a move before the NFL trade deadline? Type Y for yes. Type in for no. Predict it for us. I bet they make at least one trade. I bet they trade away a piece or trade for a minor piece. I just think Ryan Poles is a active GM. I bet at least one move comes. Predict what you guys think. Y for yes and for no. Final receiver here that we're going to talk about is Chase Claypool, who we've talked about a couple of times now. Ian Rapoport says trade is unlikely here, but do want to talk about him because he was linked in the report. I like Claypool. He's done some things in the past where you're like, what are you doing? Like, I remember that 2-minute drill last year where he's celebrating a 1st down instead of getting lined up in a, up-tempo situation. That wasn't a very good move. But you're talking about a guy's first 2 years, 60 catches, 870 yards on average, 9 touchdowns his first year. This year he's just been okay. And the reason we've explored Claypool before is with them drafting George Pickens, he could be the odd man out because they already paid Deontay Johnson. Are they going to pay Claypool too coming up next year? He's got one more year on his deal with Pickens on board. I don't know. You can't pay everybody, and I'm intrigued by Chase Claypool's size and speed kind of combination. He's 6'4", 240. You plug him into this offense with Darnell Mooney, you put him as a big weapon on the outside. Hopefully Velus Jones can get something going as kind of your versatile receiver. That could be an intriguing option. I like the size and speed here. 6'4", 240 pounds. He ran a 4.4 at the combine. He's got strong hands. He's a good player. I like Claypool. I mean, I think out of these 3 guys, if I had to pick one, Claypool would probably be the guy. I wouldn't trade a 1st-round pick for him, but 2nd, I might trade a 2nd for him. He's an intriguing talent who has had some success early on in his career. And bottom line here, when we talk about these 3 receivers or DJ Moore or whoever the hell else we want to talk about between now and the deadline, this unit needs help. Whether it happens in the next 10 days or in the offseason, it's got to be an area of focus for Ryan Poles. It can't be Darnell Mooney and a bunch of cast-offs. That's just not productive. I mean, hopefully N'Keal Harry shows us something here. Hopefully Velus Jones can start making an impact, but this group needs more production. I mean, more talent, period. It just doesn't have enough talent right now, and I think that's been pretty obvious through the first 6 games. All right, pick a receiver for me. Type BC for Brandin Cooks, JJ for Jerry Jeudy, CC for Chase Claypool. If you had to pick one of these guys, who would it be? Let us know in the comments. And then hit that subscribe button. We will be live for a Bears-Patriots Monday Night Football watch party tomorrow. And remember, if we get to 54,000 subs, we will do an extended pregame show. Hell, maybe even 45 minutes. That's up to you guys, though. Got to get to 54,000 subscribers. So hit that button, spread the word. We'll see you for Monday Night Football.